You are welcome to today's class. In our tutorial today, we'll be looking at indices. Indices are numbers that deals with powers. If you have a raised to power b here, b is called the power. The power can also be called exponent. Then a is called the base. The function of the power tells us the number of times the base appear. Take for example, if we have 2 raised to power 3, 2 raised to power 3 means 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 in 3 places. That is going to give us 8. Now, instead of writing 8, we can write 2 raised to power 3. This is the number, and this is 8 in its index form. Now, the analysis and simplification depend on the basic interpretation and rules, which are: one of the rules states that if a number is raised to power 0, it's going to give us 1. That is, any number raised to power 0 in indices is equal to 1. 2 raised to power 0 is equal to 1. Even if you have x plus y raised to power 0, it's going to give us 1. Then the second one is a number raised with negative power. Number with negative power. In indices, any number that is raised to negative power is going to give us the inverse of the number. The one that we have here is here. So this can also give us 1 over a. For example, if we have 2 raised to power minus 3, 2 raised to power minus 3 will give us 1 over 2 raised to power 3, which is equivalent to 1 over 8. So the third one is number with fractional power. Number with fractional power. Then this one will give us the C root of the number, then everything raised to power b. If you look at it very well, the denominator of the fraction, which refers to the power, comes to the square root, while the numerator of the fraction multiplies it. This can also be written as the C root of a raised to power b is also the same. Then the fourth one is a number raised with negative fractional power. Number with negative fractional power. This is going to give us 1 over C root of a raised to power b. If you go back to the second law, a number with negative power, it is equivalent to number 4, in which a number that is raised to negative power will give us 1 over. The negative brings out the division. The fifth law is product of numbers with the same base. Product of number with the same base. That is a raised to power s multiplied by a raised to power y. We can see a, they are having the same base. So this is going to give us, we pick the base, then we now 5. This is going to give us 2 raised to power 3 minus 5, which is 2 raised to power minus 2, which is equivalent to 1 over 2 raised to power 2. That will give us 1 over 4. We are just combining the law. This sixth law can also be written as a raised to power s divided by a raised to power y. This is the same as a raised to power x minus y. If you look at this, This one can be written as a raised to the power s multiplied by 1 over a raised to the power y. And this is equivalent to, if you go back to the second law, this is equivalent to a raised to the power s multiplied by a raised to the power minus y. By the time we now get the addition, since it is product of the same base, we have a raised to the power x plus minus y. That will give us a raised to the power x minus y. So this is also equivalent to the fifth law. The seventh law is number with double powers. Numbers with double power. Number with double power. We have the seventh law is talking about a number with double powers. Number with double powers. If you have a raised to the power b, then everything raised to the power c. In this case, we can see that b and c, both of them are powers. By the time we are simplifying this, the power will multiply power. Power will multiply power. This will give us a raised to the power b times c, which will give us a raised to the power bc. Let's take, for example, if we have 2 raised to the power 3, then everything raised to the power 2. This is going to give us 2 raised to the power 3 times 2, which will give us 2 raised to the power 6. This is how to simplify number with double power. Then the next one is talking about numbers with powers and bracket. Numbers with powers and bracket. That is the 8th law. If you have two numbers multiplying each other and they are enclosed in a bracket, they are now having a power. In this case, both A and B are sharing the power, which will give us a raised to the power s, b raised to the power s. For example, if you have 2x raised to the power 3, this is going to give us 2 raised to the power 3 multiplied by x raised to the power 3. 2 raised to the power 3 will give us 8 multiplied by x raised to the power 3. By the time we get the product, we will have 8s raised to the power 3. These are the rules that the analysis and the simplification of indices depend. And there is no question that we are going to solve in indices without touching any of these rules. We are going to look at some problems and see how we can apply these rules in some problems in indices. And let's evaluate this. 2 raised to the power 0 plus 4 raised to the power minus 1 over 2, everything squared. Solution. Two raised to the power 0 plus 4 raised to the power minus 1 over 2 raised to the power 2. In this case, you start your solution from 2 raised to the power 0, because anything raised to the power 0 is going to give us 1. Then next to 4 raised to the power minus 1 over 2, which is any number that is raised to negative fraction. We simplify accordingly. Now this will give us 2 raised to the power 0 will give us 1 plus then 4 raised to the power minus 1 over 2. That will give us the inverse of the square root of 4. Then everything squared. Then we have 1 plus 1 over the square root of 4 is 2. Then we find the LCM. Don't forget, this is over 1. Then the LCM is 2. 2 divided by 1, 2. 2 times 2, we have 2 plus 2 divided by 2, 1. 1 times 1, we have 1 here. Then you square it. Then you sum 3 over 2, everything squared. Then from the law of indices, that has to do with power. This means 3 raised to the power 2 divided by 2 raised to the power 2. Our answer is going to be 9 over 4. Or 2 number 1 over 4. So this is how we simplify problem like this that has to do with indices. Problem 3. This one says we should simplify 6 raised to the power 2m plus 1 times 9 raised to the power m times 4 raised to the power 2m divided by 18 raised to the power m times 2 raised to the power m times 12 raised to the power 2m. Solution. Now, to start with this, we need to go back to our law. When you are having product of index, let me recall. When you have a raised to the power m multiplied by a raised to the power n, this is product of number with the same base, which will give us a raised to the power m plus n. This law is vice versa. We are going to need it here. Then also, if you have a b raised to the power n, is also the same as a raised to the power n, b raised to the power n. We are going to need it here. Now let's look at 6. 6 raised to the power m. We have 6 raised to the power 2m plus 1 times 9 raised to the power m multiplied by 4 raised to the power 2m divided by 18 raised to the power m times 2 raised to the power m times 12 raised to the power 2m. Now, this will give us this. We are going to start with this 6. 6 can be written as 2 times 3. So we can say 2 multiplied by 3 raised to the power 2m plus 1. Likewise, 9 can be written as 3 raised to the power 2. We can say 3 raised to the power 2. Then since this m is the power, that means it will multiply the power. We have m. Then if you look at 4, so 4 is 2 raised to the power 2. 4 is 2 raised to the power 2. If you change 4 to 2 raised to the power 2, the power will multiply these 2. That will give us 4m. So here we are going to have 2 raised to the power 2 times that's 2m, which will give us 4m at the end of the day. Then we have divided by 18. 18 can be written as 2 multiplied by 9, everything raised to the power m, then times 2 raised to the power m times also 12. 12 can be written as 3 times 4, everything raised to the power 2m. Now let's start with this. Look at this. They can share the power. That will be 2 raised to the power 2m plus 1 multiplied by 3 raised to the power 2m plus 1 multiplied by 3 raised to the power 2m. Then this will give us 4m. 2 raised to the power 4m. Everything divided by this. Then this will share out of this. That will be 2 raised to the power m. Then times 9 raised to the power m. If you have 9 raised to the power m, it is equivalent to 3 raised to the power 2 raised to the power 3 raised to the power 2m multiplied by 2 raised to the power m multiplied by, if you look at this, we can have 3 raised to the power 2m multiplied by, if you look at 4 is 2 raised to the power 2. The power will multiply to m. That will give us 2 raised to the power 4m. Now look at this. Before we proceed, we can try to reduce the index numbers that we have. To start with, 2 raised to the power 4m can cancel 2 raised to the power 4m. 3 raised to the power 2m can remove 3 raised to the power 2m. Then we now look at the remaining one. If you look at this and this, we can bring them together. We can say 2 raised to the power 2m plus 1 times 3 raised to power 2m plus 1 divided by 2 raised to power 2m and 2 raised to power 2m will give us 2 raised to power 2m multiplied by 3 raised to power 2m. If you look at it very well, this one can give us this. This is the same base. We can sum up the exponent. By the time we bring it together, 2 times 2 raised to power m is going to give us this. Then we continue. We have, if you look at this is division of number with the same base. That will give us 2 raised to power 2m plus 1. Then this 2m will go up. That will give us minus 2m times, if you also look at this is division of number with the same base. That will be 3 raised to power 2m plus 1 minus 2m. This is what we are going to have, minus 2m. Now as it is now, from 2 raised to power 2m plus 1 minus 2m. 2m can cancel minus 2m. So here we come like this. We remove 2m, cancels this. This 2m, remove this 2m. We are left with, here we are left with 2 raised to power 1 multiplied by 3 raised to power 1. This is what we are left with. So our answer will now be 2 times 3. So the final answer is 6. So this is how to simplify this problem by applying the set of rules that we have for indices. If you have any question, you can ask on the comment section. Thank you.